Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to solve a problem that involves painting walls. Okay, so in this question we are given a set of walls each with a corresponding cost to paint and the time that it takes to paint. So there are two types of painters available. One is a paid painter and another one is a free painter. So basically the paid painter is such that we have to pay him based on both cost and time, and the other painter is such that it can only be used when the paid painter is busy. So we are required to find or return the minimum amount of money which is required to paint n walls. Okay, so let's take an example. Suppose we have 4 walls with costs 1, 2, 3, 2 and time 1, 2, 3, 2. How would we go about solving this? So let's start our implementation part. First of all, let's initialize the length of our cost array, which will be n, okay, which is the same as the length of our time array. Okay, we are also initializing our array named min cost, which is of size n plus 1. Why? Because we are also going to store a minimum cost which is required to paint 0 walls. Okay, so it will get added in the array and hence make the size of the array as n plus 1. Okay, initially let's fill the value in min cost array, or like all the elements. Let's assign the value, a very high value, which is of order 10 raised to the power 9. Okay, why are we doing this? We are doing this to ensure that any value that is going to be calculated in the question should sound less than this higher value. Okay, so this is one high cost and we are doing it, we are writing this in order to ensure that any actual cost will be lower than this initial cost. Okay, now let's initialize the cost or the minimum cost to paint 0 walls as 0. Okay, here starts our implementation of dynamic programming. I'll explain every line of code that I am writing. Just wait. Here I am initializing or writing the value associated with the current minimum cost. Okay, so this min cost j calculates or stores nothing but the minimum current cost that is occurring. Okay, which is equal to math.min of min cost of j and min cost. Here we are going to choose between two. What are the two? The two values are j minus time I minus 1 comma 0 comma, sorry, here we are adding the value associated to paint another ith wall. Okay, and in the end we will return our minimum cost which is required to paint n walls. Let's run the code. So yeah, it is accepted, and now let me explain the terms or the important lines of code that I think needs to be explained. First of all, we have initialized the values in the min cost array to of higher order. Why we have done this? So that to ensure that any actual value that is going to be calculated in the end, that is minimum cost, is lower than the initial value. Okay, now we have initialized the value we have written min cost 0 is equal to 0. This simply means that the minimum cost required to paint 0 walls is 0 itself. Now we have two loops here, and then we are finding the current minimum cost that is occurring to paint the jth wall, which will be equal to math.min of minimum cost of j, and then we are choosing between these two. Okay, so we are choosing between min cost and this whole value. What does this whole value mean here? So basically here this is value 1. Okay, this is value 1, and this j minus time I minus 1, and another value is where we are choosing 0 as our second value. Okay, so in this part we are just deciding a way of adjusting the time taken by the current wall, which helps us in finding the most efficient strategy. Okay, whether we use 1 or we use 0. Okay, now this whole value is just to make sure that it sums up the current cost and the cost to paint the remaining walls. and this 0 is written here in order to ensure that we stay within the bounds of the array, that is we don't go below it. Okay, I hope you understood the code. Let's submit it. Thank you for watching.